Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead on Thankful Thursday this is a collaboration with City Girl Homestead. This is one of our local parks that we have. It's still about 40 minutes or so away. Have lots of little handprints and footprints on here of different people that donated to help make the park possible. Pretty cool. So on my Thankful Thursday, of course you're probably wondering, what is she doing at a park? I am recording today at a park because I am very thankful for the blessing of being able to be a mother. I know there are lots of women that long for being parents and for having children, and for whatever reason they just are not able to have children. So today on Thankful Thursday, I am thankful that I am a mother. I was only able to have one child because I did have some female problems that I found out later on in life, and also to my own stupidity and being brainwashed into having my tubes cut and tied. Yes, that's probably more information than what you wanted to know, but that's the truth of the matter. It's not no secret. I've always talked about it and talked to young ladies about being manipulated and controlled by unfaithful spouses or boyfriends. Do not let them control you. You are in control of your own body. Don't ever let yourself get so low and so weak that you would do away with something that God has created. Now, I have always longed for a large family. I also have had the surgery to have my tubes reversed back with no luck whatsoever. Just basically felt like I wasted a whole lot of money having that done. But nevertheless, I did try to fix the problem, and that did not work. So long story short, I became a foster mom. Some of you probably have already heard that I fostered, I think it was, I'm going to probably get the number wrong because I'm just freestyling this. Just decided to stop here and make a video. But I think it was over 45 children in my home for 7.5 years. So I definitely have put in my time as being a mother, but I am most thankful and grateful that I have one child, one grown son. And not only that, he has blessed me with 2 beautiful grandchildren that I am extremely thankful for and blessed to have them. The Bible says that grandchildren are a blessing from God, and they have definitely been a blessing for me. So this park here is a park that we would often visit. My son was a little older once we started coming, but they do have a nice walking track across the way. And some of the homeschooled kids, we had a homeschool group when he was homeschooled. We would come here and do some of our meetings. We would have some picnics. Some of the older kids would go back in the back and play tennis, which nobody was a professional at it, but they sure gave it their best shot. So I was just thinking on my way to town today that I would do my Thankful Thursday at this park, because I am thankful for the memories of sitting out here and hanging out, doing our crafts, and watching the boys grow up and play. They do have a bathroom back over there, in a smaller little kiddie land over there. It's kind of tucked away around the corner in town in the country. They do have a big baseball field and football field in the back, although sadly never see many people actually using it. I think maybe some of the little football teams, the little kids that play football and sports, they may come out here and meet sometimes, but you hardly ever see anyone playing tennis. So we did come out here and play tennis. It's a nice long pavilion, so even if it's yucky weather, raining, you can get out of the weather or get out of the sun. So I think that's going to be my little video, my collaboration for my Thankful Thursday. I am extremely thankful that I had the blessing of being a mother, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. My son was homeschooled most of the time. He did go to public school for a couple of years, but I knew that that just wasn't going to be the way we wanted to go with it. And God was speaking to my heart. I was a personal aide for a little autistic boy, and every day I worked with this little boy. I went to school with him to help him stay focused and do his work. And I just kept missing my own son. And knowing that I was only going to have one son, I just felt like there was so much time I was missing with him. And I thoroughly enjoyed going to school with the autistic little boy, and thought how wonderful it was that I was his guardian. I was there with him day in and day out. How nice that would be if I could spend more time with my own son. Now, of course, the family of the little boy was not too happy whenever I told them that God had spoke to me and that it was time for me to homeschool my own child, because that meant I couldn't do both. And I guess had we had the money at the time, then I could have probably got him in the Christian school. But in order for him to be in the Christian school with me while I worked there with the autistic boy, I wouldn't have made any money. It would have actually cost me money. So the cheapest and the frugalest thing for me to do was to just homeschool my son and be thankful for what I did have, and not worry about making a paycheck, and worry about making a life spent with my son and enjoying that time, which that time with my son was absolutely priceless. You cannot put a price on it. And for those of you that have young children, thinking that the kids are never going to grow up, they're never going to be grown, well, don't think that way. Before you know it, they will be grown and gone, and there's no guarantees that they will even live close to you. So whenever I do get to see my son and my grandchildren, which is about probably 2 to 4 times a year, because they do live in Texas, I cherish those moments greatly. So there was a time when they lived closer, and the first grandchild was born, and we spent a lot of time with and got extremely close to each other. And then there was not as much of a close relationship with the granddaughter. She was born in Texas. But nevertheless, I love both of them extremely dearly, and I would not trade them for nothing. And without being a mother, of course, this is obvious, without having a child of my own, I wouldn't have natural grandchildren. So only having one son, I wasn't sure if he was wanting children or not, but I knew he was very good with children. He was always great with the foster children. So I had always hoped and prayed that God's blessing would be upon me and upon him, that he would have children one day. So I feel very thankful that I was blessed by my son. To even be able to have a child was a huge blessing that I think people take for granted, and that I have the blessing of having 2 beautiful grandchildren. So farewell, Homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.